Okay, music fans, welcome back. It's Dave. It's the Real Music Observer, observing real music in real time for real people just like you. Right there. Me right here. Okay, comparing the Eagles to Fleetwood Mac in the current situation. Irving Azoff, of course, now consulting with Fleetwood Mac. Pretty much doing everything for the Eagles. Look, the Eagles, yes, I was kind of sour on them at the beginning of this whole Vince Gill thing. Reason being is I don't think they really needed Vince, but Vince has proven to be pretty durable out there. And look, they lost Glenn Frey, and it's a tragedy. And they thought, hey, we're going to just stop, and then they changed their mind. Some may say they got greedy. I don't know. They bring in his son Deacon, so you can't say the motives were bad. Not really keen on much of what Don Henley does and says, but this was a good move to bring in Deacon Frey and to keep the thing alive and to bring in another guy to help relieve the pressure. Now, should they have Felder in the band? Yes, absolutely. Will they ever? No, of course not. Don Henley, a couple of years back, that Cass County album thing he didn't really impress me all that much, but he was doing a lot of interviews talking about Felder, and he sounded fairly bitter still. He really was not too happy about Felder's book, and so that's another one of those situations. Sounds a little like Steve Perry with certain members of Journey, but needless to say, Felder ain't coming back. Okay, so I've gotten used to the idea. I've seen some live performances. Look, this is an all-star band. You got Joe Walsh, who can do his own stuff. You got Tim Schmidt, who could also probably go out and do his own stuff. And just, you know, the fact that all of these guys are on stage. Henley, of course, can still sing pretty well. I mean, he's getting a little creaky and squeaky here and there, but he's still pulling it off. And so, to me, the Eagles have kind of reinvented themselves. They've gone into overtime, as Don Henley has said recently, which I think is kind of a cute way, sports analogy. They probably, you know, have 10 lives at this point, and it's pretty remarkable. Their story is a lot different than Fleetwood Mac. Now, getting to Fleetwood Mac, the big difference is Fleetwood Mac did not have to fire Lindsey Buckingham. They did not have to do this, all right? Number one. Number two, they picked two people to replace him who are not worthy of one-man Lindsey Buckingham. They're just not. I love Mike Campbell, but he's not in the right group for his style. All right, and this actually dates back, way back, you know, Bob Welch, whoever else was in the group. It's a different dynamic that he brings. Some people call it fresh energy again, and I can't wait to read some of these glowing reviews and report on those for you. But the big difference between the Eagles and Fleetwood Mac is Fleetwood Mac did not have to fire Lindsey. Lindsey is still alive and well and performing, by the way, and sounding better than ever. At least some people think he's really kind of hit a new stride out there. And, you know, this reeked of a quick business decision. Financial issues the drummer might be having influenced that. And so, but the bottom line is the sound. When, you know, say you're okay with them firing Lindsey. Okay, good riddance. Didn't need you anyway. You're just micromanaging. You're too difficult to work with or to work for. You're too meticulous. I think that's a good word I should have used in the last video about him. He's too meticulous. And at this stage, these guys don't like meticulous. Okay, so you get rid of him. You bring in these two guys. These two guys don't do anything for the group. They don't make it better. So much for fresh energy. You could get fresh energy from anybody who's up there and banging on a guitar and looking all alive and all of that good stuff. But if they can't sing like Lindsey and they can't play like Lindsey, then guess what? It's not a good thing. So, bottom line, they don't sound good with these two new guys, whereas the Eagles sound fairly good with Vince Gill and Deacon Frey. Simple as that, folks. All right, done with this video. Be back soon with more. Stay tuned for those.